Hey everybody, welcome back to Life Under Deborah's Palm, the Dementia Road. And of course, if you like this channel, please like, subscribe, share. You can also check out my other channel, which you can get to from the homepage of this channel if you're interested. Today, what I thought I would just take a quick look at is one of the struggles that we had, and that was getting my mother to take her medication. Ugh. She was living home and she had taken medication for years, and all of a sudden, for some reason, she decided she didn't need to take it. It was kind of a slow burn where first all her medications were just confusing, and so I started to straighten them out, but then she was arguing with me, you know, I took this one, I took this, I did this, and we knew she hadn't, and we knew they were too easy to mix up, and some of them could be harmful. If she took more than one, really could be harmful. So I ended up getting a locked medicine box. I think I showed this once before. It was called a Med Ready, where it held for her 2 weeks of medicine, and it was in a carousel and it went around and you couldn't see in it. It was locked, and I would put all the pills in, and it had a timer, and when the timer went off, it beeped and she took her pills. That helped a little bit for us for a while. She did have an inhaler. Forget it. I just gave up the fight. You know, sometimes I could get her to do it, and sometimes I just couldn't. But the Med Ready automated medicine dispenser did help us for a little bit because she couldn't see in it. And she had gotten this idea in her head that when she finished this bottle, that was it. The doctors weren't giving her any more medication, and she told me she talked to that doctor, which of course wasn't true. But that Med Ready machine helped for a little bit. She went into assisted living, and the girls had great success with her for quite a while, including her inhaler. And then all at once, we got back to, I don't need the medication, I'm not taking the medication. And here's a couple things that we kind of learned. One, the very first thing I guess I should say is they were taking her medicines, they give them in the little cup, and they were literally dumping like maybe 7 pills in her hand at once. And she would just and drink them down. Now, when she was home, they were split into morning and evening, which I think helped a little bit. For whatever, oh, I know, COVID came, and then they swapped it to a once-a-day thing, which meant she was taking everything all at once. That's a lot in your stomach. I think I would gag on it, but that's just me. That was probably a little bit of the issue. So what ended up happening was she did the same thing. She said, no, I'm not done. I'm not taking my medicine. I don't need it. It's not. The doctor told me I don't have to take it anymore, and I'm not taking it. Now, understand, when they go into assisted living, the aides don't necessarily get any farther than you do sometimes. Sometimes they know some tips and tricks to kind of get somebody to take their medicine. But here's what happened with us. Number one, we took a good look at, does she need all that medication? Does she really need everything she's taking at this point in her life? You know, there's things that make them more comfortable. There's things that keep them alive. And my mother has no pill that technically keeps her alive. Like, she would not die if she didn't take any of these pills, with the exception of maybe one, because it's a thyroid pill that will just make you miserable. So we looked at the list and decided, does she need every single one of these? And we decided she did not. We kept her on the thyroid medicine, some painkillers, and there's one more. I don't know what it was. So instead of taking 6 or 7 or 8 pills and inhalers, the inhalers we all just gave up on. She's not going to do that. And they decided to try, the painkiller came in a liquid. And so they said, let's try putting that in liquid. And she ended up hating it. No, really? Because it tastes like crap. So I'm not sure they're going to keep her on the liquid because she just cringes at that. But they tried that. That might be an option because they could have a problem swallowing. It might be bothering them. And what they did was they gave her 1 pill in the morning, they gave her 1 pill at lunch, and they gave her 1 in the evening. And that's working so far. Some other things that I have told them in the past is, if you really need her to take something, try telling her it's for pain, because she's in a lot of pain. That sometimes if you tell her the doctor has sent this and it is for your pain, sometimes that worked. Something else that you can try is finding out if their medication is crushable. Some of it is not. Some medicine cannot be crushed. It's got to be taken whole. If it's crushable, can you put it in just a little small cup and put it in ice cream or pudding or something like that? That might work. Another thing to look at is water. I have heard this before, and I've never experienced it, but I've heard this before where people just all of a sudden just can't take the pills with water. They'll take it with a soda, they'll take it with a cup of tea or juice or something, and maybe it's the taste of the medication. I don't know, but they've said like taking it with water is gagging to them. Kind of weird, not sure why that is. And if you're at home and you're dealing with them, and you've got to consider something. They're losing total control of their life. And there's a point where they know it and they don't know it. And they get in that weird thing where they feel like everybody's telling them what to do and they have no say in anything. And they've been taking their medicine for years, and how dare you tell them that they don't know what they're doing? And if you're dealing with that and they have a pill box, and maybe they're insistent, like they've got to fill their pill box or they're going to deal with it. Here's a thought, and I'm not sure if this will work or not. Buy 2 pill boxes, make one the real pill box, make one the fake pill box. In the fake pill box, can you find like a candy that looks like a pill? So like a Tic Tac looks kind of like a capsule, or will an M&M look like a medication? Something like that where they can fill their pill box and feel like they're still in control. And then you're gonna have to somehow still weave the real pills into their routine. But it's just a thought, I didn't think of it until I was testing my mom's medication dispenser. That puppy was locked and she couldn't see in it, and I needed to see if it worked and worked on time. I filled it with M&Ms. And the truth of the matter is, you just might not be able to make them take it. They just may come to that point where they don't want to. And we really didn't know this until my father-in-law hit the nursing home. They were having a real hard time getting him to take his medication because he literally couldn't comprehend it anymore. And they said to us, you do have the right to stop his medicine. And we did not know that. We actually just assumed you had to give them their medication, or at least try to give them their medication. And it's not true. And that's really got to be a family decision of what they do and don't need to take and what they do and don't need to do. Like I said, at some point, they just may not take it. My mother-in-law had no problem. She took all her medicine right on through to the end. It didn't bother her at all. Everybody's different and every situation's different. It can be difficult like everything else. So I don't know if any of these things help. If you have any other ideas that have worked for you, I would say leave them in the comment box below. Maybe it'll help somebody else out. And have a great day.